Once we discover and meet our soul self, we'll radiate pure light. Time is life. We need to invest in time and make most use of it. Speaking out of my awareness makes me watch and listen and be aware of the same needs in others. The ability to clarify what has been observed stems from being true to self. Disciplines such as poetry, dance, and singing are free feather to portray what we feel or what we would like to feel. How beautiful is to have our aspirations or dreams that are portrayed being realized in the real world. We're delighted to host Miss Maria Tmshuk, the writer and the poet from Ukraine. You're welcome at GNN.
مرحبا.
أهلا وسهلا فيك. Miss Maria, you earned a degree in biology and also you earned a degree in management. What triggered you to dive into the world of poetry?
Because I have talent to write poems, and I discovered it in my childhood. When I was child, I wrote my first poems. I remember very well when I wrote to, for my parents, for my friends at school, and year by year I improved this talent, and I understand even now that it's something like light inside me, that yes, I am biologist, I am manager, I hope I will study more because we must to make our life more and more interesting and improve our knowledges. But poetry will be forever with me, because I cannot without poems, without writing.
In literature, usually the writer is being influenced by the surrounding and the circumstances. What topics triggers you to write?
I have different topics because when I write, sometimes I am sad, sometimes I am very happy, and as usually I write about love, about beauty of nature, about something what is important for everybody, because all people want to be happy, they want to have love in their lives, they like so much to look at nature, at sea, at sky, at stars. So different themes. Last time I write too much about Ukraine and situation in Ukraine, because during last few years we have war, and many people, many young people die, and it's a very bad situation. It's very big pain in my heart, like for many people, and so as a result I wrote many poems on about politics, about this situation.
So you portray in your poets something you aspire to or something you lived?
Different, because I sometimes in life I see some situation, and it inspires me too much, and I very quickly I write poem. But as usually when I write, something must inspire me. As usually it is nature, it is poems of another great writers and poets, and life. Sometimes I feel time very good. I like some to write some poems about philosophy. What I feel, because really time goes very quickly, and we feel this. Because every next year of our life, it goes, time goes more and more quickly, and we understand that we must as more quickly do things which are the most important for us. So I also try to write motivation poems, and to help other people to find something important for them. And some people even write me on Facebook that they like one poem, and other people like more another poem. It's up to every person. It's very special, but I like to present them everything what I create. Maybe I feel little that I write also for myself because it's my talent. It's what I have inside me. So sometimes I need to write. When I start to create poem in evening or in the morning, doesn't matter. I don't think that later I will show this poem on Facebook. I will go to and I will have interview. I just need. It's like it goes from my heart. And I like very much to improve myself, and I hope in future I will have more books.
The human experience in various cultures is the same. What makes you unique in regards to the content of the poetry? There are several poets, several writers. They have addressed the issues of nature, the issues of war, the issues of love. What makes Maria Tmshuk so unique in her poems?
I didn't think too much about this, but I realized that it's time, because the name of my first book is A Time for Everything. And even I have a poem in Ukrainian, A Time for Everything, a very interesting poem about about the most important things in our life. And I wanted to deliver a message that not that we can do all things during our life, because really we cannot do everything. It's very, very difficult. We must to choose the most important for us, and everything what we like, what makes us happy. And the main message is maybe in my book is that we must appreciate what God gives for us. Because very important to say thank you, to understand that we are happy today because we have good health, because we can travel, because we can do what we want. And some people, even young people, they have sometimes 20-25 years, and they need to have very quickly some material or not material things, and they are not happy if they have not this today, or for example or tomorrow or next month. They are not happy. It's very great to have force inside you to continue, to believe that you will have this special great time when everything what you need, everything what important for you too much will come to you. Not come easy. Yes, you must work for this, because I think that in our life, as usually we pay for everything. We pay with our money, with our health, with our time, with our with different things. And so about time, and also I wrote some articles about time, because I was born among beautiful nature, and when I was even child, I feel very good time, because I spent many days every day near my apartment. I didn't want to be inside, so I walked, I talked with other children, and looked too much at different trees, flowers, stars, sky, and day by day I understood that it must be something unique, because something unique what I do, because everybody is unique, every person is unique. Somebody more, somebody less, doesn't matter. All people, no, because later when I became biologist, I understood this more, because I studied genetic, biochemistry, and I could explain it in another level, not like child. But I understood that doesn't matter what talent you have, you must make this talent unique, even if achievements are not very big, even if you achieve something slowly, it's big happiness, because you do things which God
Mm-hmm.
is blessing you to do.
So from a philosophical point of view, you stress on the importance of willingness and digging inside ourselves so to find our treasure and pursue it. Miss Maria, who is your audience?
My audience are different people. Sometimes they are children, because I had many presentations in schools. Many teachers all over Ukraine, from all Ukraine, invited me to make presentations at school, because I have many poems about things very important for young generation. So I have many pictures with them on Facebook, and really it's very good for me to be among younger people than me, to understand how they think, which dreams they have. But at the same time, my audience is people, old people also, different people. Sometimes when I have interview in Ukraine, and after interview, many people, different people. Some of them are workers, some of them are scientists. They want to write me, to say something, to say thank you. And I sometimes I feel that if I am open heart, if I try to write what I have in heart, if I try to inspire, if I try to write not just about what I like, about what the people need to write, and how to know what they need to read. In Ukraine, last years very difficult, and many people lost their native people, sons, brothers, parents, and I wrote also poems about this our war, and I understand that it's a very small my contribution. It's like nothing what I did, what I am doing for Ukraine, but many people say thank you for this. Different people, and now I was acquainted with many Ukrainian people in Lebanon, and they inspire me too much, because we became friends on Facebook, and it's very big pleasure to go everywhere in different countries. I had my presentation also in Spain. Ukrainian community invited me. So now I have big motivation to improve my English, because I didn't finish Faculty of Foreign Languages. It was my mistake. Maybe now I understand very much. And my poems, it's my foundation, how I can show myself to the world, how I can...
You dig your topic from the well of life, and the human experience are shared across culture. This is from where you thrive for your topics, but you do like one-to-one meeting with people, so to share in light of the digital library nowadays. Where do you publish? How do you communicate your publications?
I publish my poems and also articles in different websites, also in newspapers, sometimes even in newspapers which have not websites, because now websites very important, and paper newspapers have maybe not good period. And also I like to give interview for them. No, it's usually it's websites and it's websites where poets can publish their poems.
And how do you assess the interaction and the acceptance of the audience? They do share their opinions about your work?
Sometimes they wrote about me if even I don't ask them. And it's very it makes me very glad, because I see that somebody wants to make some work for me, to share my poems, to show them as more people. So I appreciate too much, and I try to present my book, to do something good also, because if you share this not just with words, sometimes with small things, very good, and you make people smile even during few seconds, not few minutes, it makes your heart more lighter. It's like life becomes better.
I guess your multidisciplinary background helped you a lot since you are an activist. So you have the touch of the community and the feeling of the community, what their needs, what are their aspirations. And so you write about the needs of the people and their dreams. For Maria Tmshuk, who is the inspirer as a poet? Who inspires you?
Among Ukrainian poets or
might be international, might be
Ukrainian. We have a very great Ukrainian poet, and he is known all over the world, Taras Shevchenko. I even now I read him. I read his poems again and again. Because he was great and he shows name of Ukraine everywhere. And now when I am in Lebanon, I read in English poems of Khalil Gibran, because he is great. He is great Lebanese poet, and he is great international poet. Because his poem is wonderful. When I read, I want to buy a book, Profit, and to read, because it's. I think that I can get great inspiration for me. And some sentences looks like sentences from Bible. What I remember that he told that beauty is not face, beauty is the light in heart. And it's true, because if we happy inside, if we have this light, and if we love people around us, we become beautiful, and many people love us. So he is really great. And I can even in Arabic one sentences from one. Yes, I can read. لأن حبي لك فوق مستوى الكلام قررت أن أسكت والسلام كلام. I read كلامي because I worry. That's why. And I hope that in future I will study Arabic, because it's not too much difficult, and I will understand how he wrote in his native language. It will be great for me. Now I can read just in English.
For Maria Tmshuk, what makes a poet universal and everlasting? How do I think? How I think? How do you judge a poet, if it is valid, if it is just related to a certain time or to a certain culture, or if it is like widespread and can be applied?
Not my poems.
Yes, in general.
In general. It's very difficult to judge poems. The same like very difficult to judge people, to judge some processes, situations. Because it's very easy to judge. Better to do something. But I don't like poems with bad words. Now everywhere in the world is trend to write poems with bad words, like to show too much all emotions. Don't be ashamed to say something not not good. No, as usually we don't say this. So I don't accept them too much, and I don't read them. But I don't judge too much, because everybody has his right to show himself, to write what he wants, to draw pictures how he wants. So I think the most important qualities of poem, if it helps to be better, if poems help to be more happy.
Yes, it's a two-way.
Yes, it's my way. If even it's maybe not grammar, like we have rhyme.
Yes.
So sometimes very now famous white poems. it can be white poem, doesn't matter, but just must touch heart and help people be better and be more happy.
Yes, as you have mentioned, if we can compare poetry to a soil where we plant seeds, actually we write so to be read, and we have to leave an impact in the heart of the reader. And if it is like everlasting, it means that the message was very well conveyed. And the message to be elaborated, the poet has a lens that allowed him to observe and to analyze and to portray what he felt and to share it with the reader. And also there is the lens of the reader. What is his circumstances? How is he analyzing at this time? Going back to the time issue, because analysis and interpretation varies between different culture and different times. Also, as you have shed the light on the styling, how do you adapt and tailor your style so to portray your feelings in a very valid way and readable way? Do you adapt a certain sonnet or rhyme? Is there any specificity during your editing of your poems?
As usually, no. I write. I write how I feel, and when I am writing, I don't think sometimes how people will understand my words. But later, and very interesting example that sometimes I can read my poem now. I understand
something.
No, yes, that I wanted to say something. When I read after a few months, a few years, I realize that from this poem I can take something more. That it's just not what I wanted to say. This poem has something more.
So you have metaphors and you adapt the narrative style, or you like trigger questions. How do you narrate your poem? How do you structure it?
I write as many writers write, with rhymes which I know, and with for example, all over the world, yes, they are the same: yamb, dactyl, chorei, amphibrachium, anapest. So when I want to write poem, first time I have in my head a few lines, and I don't try to make them with some to find for this word some interval. It comes. It just comes.
It's your talent.
Yes, and I
that
accept.
Moves you forward.
If I have a few lines wrote by dactyl or amphibrachium, I continue in this with this. I continue to use this interval.
Do you read it out loud so to feel the rhyme if it is like
yes,
convenient
yes.
and conveying the message as you'd like it to be?
Sometimes I read, yes, because I need to check myself. Sometimes I like to change some words. I like so much to even in my childhood I like it to find similar words and to play with them, and to have very important for every poem to have idea, and I must know this idea. I must it's usually one sentence, two sentences, and I try to show people this idea with beautiful words.
Miss Maria, a poet is a universal well of wealth, since he has the perceiving eye and analytical eye and interpretation eye. So you are a wealthy woman, and we're glad to host you in JNN studio. If you may share with us some of your writings, we'll be glad to hear.
Thank you so much. I want to read one poem. I like this poem, and many people like, because it's about God. And I wrote in Ukrainian. First time I wrote in Ukrainian, and I decided to translate this into English. And the poem, the name of poem is "Without Me." Because I understand that many things in this world can be accomplished without me. and I have not time to be at the same time everywhere, because for every day has just 24 hours for everybody. So it's necessary for us sometimes to do what we like, and don't be sad. Don't if we cannot go no at the same time to different places. We must choose, and it's a very it makes our life with some charm, but we need to choose, and we sometimes worry. We are not sure that it was right to choose something, but it is life. So many things can be accomplished without me. So I wish I had the time for all. Our everyday life cannot be spent in glee, and neither does sadness our whole day control. I am thankful for God for the sunny spring. My life is magnificent, my destiny unique. Every time I may lose or win, calmness is necessary, and that I must seek. Without me, God will be forever God. Yet without God, merely dust I am.
How deep and philosophical. In that light, I would like to ask you about your insights, since you are an activist and you have also a keen observation about the socioeconomic dynamic all across the globe. What is your insights nowadays after 2000 years on Christ coming? Still we have wars, still we have tiraillements, still we have unilateral trading agreements being done again. So we are like reinventing the wheel. So what is your insights about this issue and about the natural resources and the wise use of natural resources, since Ukraine is very much wealthy in natural resources?
Yes,
and I guess there are so many tiraillements about how to manage these resources and who will be benefiting. So if you may share your insights about that.
Yes, Ukraine is a great country in the center of Europe, and has very big natural resources, also human resources, and as usually, I don't know why, all over the world we can see the same situation, that people are very good. Every country has special resources, but as usually power is not good, and every time power is not good for people, and this power cannot use this natural resources, human resources in good way. And that's why a country has some problems.
How to mitigate this? What would be the message that you will be conveying, so to adjust and to prevent the happening of such issues like wars, and how to educate our youth so to be proactive and have self-confidence and have equity amongst them, so to have a community well balanced?
Yes, very important for people to have self-confidence, to have responsibility for their own life, because as usually people believe in some fairy tales before elections, and they want very much to give their lives in very in some hands, and people want somebody take care of them. As some even very educated people, sometimes it looks like this, because people like to make revolutions, because they like it was in Ukraine, because they hope very much that the next power will be better than they will, but they don't hear their mind that nothing it will not be good for country. I read a very famous book, Manage of Union, of Elinor Ostrom. She is one woman in the world who has Nobel Prize. Yes, she is one woman economist in the world who had this prize because she wrote about how people can manage of all things they have in a country. No, because we have many resources really, and in Ukraine we have really many resources. It's land very good for for fruits, vegetables. It's also very much forests, woods. But bad people cut them and sell them, and sometimes who has money, it's very easy for him to do bad things.
I liked what you have shared at the very beginning about time and to enjoy the little things and to rely on ourselves and to dig into ourselves, so to fetch for our wealth, and then we can share it, and then we will avoid jealousy, we will avoid hitting on the others, so it would be a win-win approach. This universal lens that you have, how did it help you since you are here in Lebanon? So to compare between the two cultures, what is the commonalities between Lebanon and Ukraine?
Thank you very much for your question. I really very happy to be in Lebanon because Lebanon is great country, really. I not just say good words because I am here, because I say because I like people very much, because they are very open heart, they are welcoming, they like very much to help with advice, to talk, very good people, and at the same time they believe in God. They very often go to the churches, and I was surprised that there are many saint places in Lebanon. Sometimes I think that more in Ukraine, because now I with my why maybe the biggest reason why I love Lebanon, because my future husband and my love is from Lebanon.
Congratulations.
Lebanese. Yes, and I opened my heart for this country.
You approach the country with a full heart.
Yes.
And I have a question about your future husband. Is he a poet?
No, he is not poet. He is medical doctor, and I'm proud of him very much because he speaks 7 languages. He has 3 citizenships: Lebanese, Canadian, and Argentinian. So I proud of him very much. That's why I am studying now French and Spanish, and I am trying to study Arabic also. I know a few words. Because really in Lebanon there are many people who in Lebanon people are intelligent. They like to speak different languages, to travel, and I also like to travel with my future husband.
Would you like to share his name?
His name is Sharbel Saadi.
Nice to meet him and to meet you, and congratulations for both of you.
Thank you very much. I really
Is there anything you didn't like about Lebanon?
No, I tell you more and more. I like very much food, Lebanese food. Because this food is very delicious and very healthy at the same time. I don't know why I like tabbouleh very much, and sometimes I eat and as usually if we visit some families, we are guests, if they invite us, they prepare many different dishes.
Did you learn about the culture of Lebanon before you come to Lebanon, or it was when you arrived that you felt this?
Before.
Okay, so you had a very great ambassador, I guess, promoting the Lebanese culture in a good way.
Yes.
And do you have any connections with Ukrainian in Lebanon?
Yes, I have connection with Ukrainian people in Lebanon, and even on 5 of April at 5 o'clock, I will have meeting with Ukrainian community in Embassy of Ukraine, and this meeting organized by His Excellency the Ambassador of Ukraine in Lebanon. And I will be very glad, will be very happy to be with Ukrainian people, because it's important for everybody. If we are abroad, we need we like cultural culture of this country. We like people, but after 1 month, 2 months, we need to talk in native language to meet somebody from our country. It's for everybody. And yes, I read about Lebanon when I was in Ukraine. I read many articles in internet. I was surprised because now I know that Lebanon gave the alphabet to the world, and I was in different places in Lebanon, in saint places, Saint Charbel, Saint Ravka. We were with my future husband. We were in Byblos. We visited many old historical places, and really, it's great. Great feelings I can feel in my heart.
Yeah.
Yes,
it's very good to have adventures in life, but always we have a nostalgia, and we love what we miss. So I guess you're extrapolating your experience in Ukraine to the Lebanese one, since you have also the family ties and the community mesh similar to the Lebanese mesh, right?
Yes, yes.
And going back to the events, you will be sharing about your book during the event at the embassy.
Yes, I will write my Ukrainian poems, but many Ukrainian people will come with their families, and with some, for example, with husbands, and they don't speak Ukrainian. So I will prepare some poems, some Arabic poems, and my poems translated into English to respect them.
Okay. So and afterwards, what are your plans for your stay in Lebanon? What will you be doing?
With Charbel, we will go to Ukraine to celebrate Easter in Ukraine, and I am very happy. I am really very happy for this. I appreciate very much. Christmas I celebrated in Lebanon with Charbel, so it's great. It is a really great feeling to decide to celebrate all the holidays together.
Mm-hmm. But you're planning to stay in Lebanon afterwards, so you're living,
yes,
and,
I will, after
and
Ukraine,
you will continue your poetry.
Yes,
you will be working with the embassy. What are your plans?
After Ukraine, we will yes, we will come back to Lebanon, but we will go to Canada, because my future husband is Canadian also, and he.
So you'll be having a mixture of culture, the Ukrainian, the Lebanese, and the Canadian,
yes,
and with the poet, with the poet heart.
And I am very lucky with him, because now I wrote many poems because I have a big inspire. When we love, it's great. And Khalil Gibran told that just love and death will change everything, will change all things. Now I understand, because before I didn't love. It my first love, because I waited very much. I didn't love like now, and it's great. It's really changed your life. You look at things with new eyes. You understand more things. You more believe in God. You more love also another people. You are more happy. Now I understand that there are no bad people. There are people who are not happy. If you're happy, it's great. And also I am lucky with my future husband, because he is international. And with him I will travel all over the world and meet Ukrainian people, and meet acquaint with different cultures, and it's very good for me because
usually life gives us back what we seek. So you seek happiness, and it seems that happiness is knocking your door.
yes, you are
Miss
right.
Maria Tmshuk, winner of many prizes in poetry, a writer, a poet, a biology holder and a degree, and also a management and an activist. You are
Yes.
welcome to JNN. We were
Thank
delighted
you.
to host you.
Thank you very much.
Dear audience, discovering our talents and being appreciative about this make us feel light and happy.